Alright, so in this video here we are going to be going over arithmetic sequences and then using recursive formulas with those. So quick setup here. Basically what we have going on here is the squares here are tables and then the circles going around are chairs. So you see with one table, 4 chairs around, 2 tables, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, going all the way around. With 3 tables, there'll be 8 chairs there, right? So if we have 4 tables, that would make, well, 4, 6, 8, 10. For 4 tables would have 10 chairs around. So for each table that you add on to the end here, 2, and you add another one there, you're going to add 2 more chairs. So one table starts with 4 chairs, and then for each additional table, you're going to end up with 2 more chairs. So just going to go over some definitions here. So arithmetic sequence, that's where you have like a pattern that's going on and it's either increasing or decreasing by the same amount, and this amount is called a common difference. You're basically adding or subtracting the same amount for each term in the sequence. So each term, so going from 3 to 5 to 7 to 9 to 11, right, that's adding 2 for each term, right? 3, 5, 7, 9, 11 are the terms there. So we say that the common difference for this sequence would be 2. And normally we use D to show which is the common difference, D for difference there. This sequence over here, 30, 26, 22, 18, 14, right? That one we are subtracting for each term in the sequence. So here we go. So we would say D equals a -4 because it's a subtract 4. So that would be negative for the common difference. If you're adding, it's just positive. And if you're subtracting, that would be a negative. We're also going to look at recursive formula in this video as well towards the end. So just follow along here. We're going to go ahead and determine whether 2, 4, 8, 16, 32 is an arithmetic sequence. So here's our numbers there, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. Now there is a pattern. So, right, 2 to 4, you can multiply by 2, 4 to 8, multiply by 2, 8 to 16, multiply by 2, 16 to 32, multiply by 2. However, when we're looking at whether it's an arithmetic sequence, it needs to be an add or subtract pattern. So in this case here, we're only looking at addition. That's a +2. That one's a +4 from 4 to 8. 8 to 16, that's going to be a +8. And then 16 to 32, that's a +16. So in this case here, no, it is not an arithmetic sequence. It does have a pattern, but it's not an add or subtract pattern. This one you could think a multiply pattern, or you just go, oh, take the number and add it to itself, 4 + 4, 8 + 8. You can think of it that way as well. So it is a pattern, but it's not add or subtract the same amount for each term. Another one here, 2/3, 1, 4/3, 5/3, and then a 2. There's our numbers there. And now we're checking to see whether it's arithmetic sequence. And again, you need to be adding or subtracting the same amount for each term. So from 2/3 to 1, that's a +1/3. From 1 to 4/3, +1/3. 4/3 to 5/3, this is probably the easiest one to do here. We're just adding 1 to the 4, and to make the 5, and then we have the 3's for the denominators, and then 5/3 to 2 is also going to be another +1/3. So although it's got fractions and it looks kind of messy because it's got fractions and whole numbers there, this one is indeed an arithmetic sequence because we're adding the same amount for each term. Go ahead and give this one a try, pause the video, and come on back, see how you did. So here's our numbers here, and we're just checking to see whether we are adding or subtracting the same amount. So from 7/8 to 5/8, that is a -2/8. From 5/8 to 1/8, that is a -4/8. And then from 1/8 to -5/8, that's a -6/8. So in this case here, there is a pattern to it. The next one would be 8/8 that we subtract, and then 10/8, but it's not the same amount that we're adding, or in this case, subtracting. So no, it is not an arithmetic sequence. All right, for this one here, we're going to be finding the next 3 terms in this sequence here. It is an arithmetic sequence, so the question already tells us it's adding or subtracting the same amount. So we do need to find what that amount is, that common difference. So there's our numbers there, and again, we're just trying to figure out if we go from -8 to -11 to -14 to -17, what are we adding or subtracting? So finding that common difference. So -8 to -11, that's a -3. And these are negatives, so we do got to be a little extra careful there. The numbers themselves are getting bigger, but they're getting bigger in the negative. So if you're thinking temperature, it's getting colder, or if you're thinking money, you have to pay more and more and more. So in this case here, negative 11 and negative 14, another minus 3. 14 to negative 17, another minus 3. So now that we know that our common difference is negative 3, now what we're going to do is just follow that pattern all the way out and get the next 3 terms there. So we're just going to follow that pattern out. So negative 17, and then we're going to subtract 3 until we get the last 3 terms, or the next 3 terms. So negative 17, again, subtract 3, and that ends up with negative 20, subtract 3, and we get negative 23, subtract 3, and we end up with negative 26. So the next 3 terms would be these 3 right here would be the answer to this question here. Let's have you go ahead and find this, pause the video, and come on back, see how you did. So first off, to find the next 3 terms of this arithmetic sequence, we got to find the common difference. So from 58 to 63, 63 to 68, and 68 to 73, those are all going up by 5. 58 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. So we know we're just going to keep adding 5 to find the next 3. So 73 plus 5, 78, 78 plus 5, 83, and plus 5 again to get 88 would be the next 3 terms. Now we're going to switch gears and look at the recursive formula. So it's actually pretty simple as long as you understand what all these symbols mean, okay? So these are the subscripts, the 1, the n, and then the n minus 1 here. Now you can say a subscript 1 or a sub 1 or just a1. So most people just say a1 or a sub 1. They wouldn't say subscript. So anyhow, so a1, that's going to be your first term, okay? And then this an, or a sub n, that's the new term, or the one that you're trying to find. And so what you do is, let's say you're trying to find the 10th one. Well, this is the previous term, so it's the n minus 1. So again, if you're trying to find the 10th one, this would be the 9th one. And what are you going to do to the 9th one? Well, you're going to add whatever the common difference is. So if you're going by 5s, that would be an add 5. If you're subtracting by 4, you would subtract 4. So again, like on this one here, if that's the 10th, then you take the 9th and subtract 4 or add 5 or whatever that common difference is. So that's what these symbols mean. They do take a little bit of time to get your brain wrapped around it, but that's what they mean. First term is A1. The next term or the new term is AN. And then you just take the n minus 1, the previous term, and we got it all listed right here. So do make sure and get this in your notebook, though, in your formula section, so that way you can refer back to it. Okay, there's another way that people will sometimes write these recursive formulas out, and they look like this instead. It's a less common way of doing it, but if your teacher or whoever's teaching you how to do this uses this one, it's the same idea here, just instead of the subscript, they just do parentheses. So here we go. Follow along. We're going to do, given the recursive formula, a1 equals 5 and a sub n equals a sub n minus 1 plus 4, find the next 3 terms. So a sub 1, that's the first term, and it says right here what the first term is. It's 5. It says right there 5. So boom, we know the first blank. All right. Now find the next term, the second term. So here's our formula here. Okay, a sub n minus 1. Plus 4, and that n, it's going to be a 2. Now, we don't normally do it this way. I'm just breaking it down so you can kind of see how the notation works, right? So this is the second term, so that's going to replace the n. The 2 replace the, see 2 there, n there. We're going to replace it right there for that n right there. So now it becomes a 2. So that 2 goes right there. So now we have a sub 2 minus 1 plus 4. Well, 2 minus 1, we can do that. We know how to do that. That's called 1. Right? 2 minus 1 makes 1, plus 4. Now, in this case here, what was A1? Oh, well, it's right here, and it's also right here too, but that's 5. So now this turns to 5 plus 4, and that makes 9. So that's the way the notation works. We normally don't do all of these steps there, but just show you the next one for A3. So we're going to replace the n with the number 3. So that's going to be a 3 there, and then 3 minus 1 makes 2. Now, what was A2? Because we need to find the value for A2. Well, A2 is 9, so we replace the A2 with the number 9 right there. And then plus 4, 9 plus 4 makes 13. So, like I said, we generally don't show all of this work here. All this is saying is you start with 5, and then this part here says add 4. So start with 5, add 4, add 4, add 4, add 4, add 4. That's all this part here is saying. But again, our brain kind of flips out a little bit because of all this crazy looking notation. All right, let's have you go ahead and pause the video and try this one out, and then come on back, see how you did. Okay, so what is this actually saying? Like in regular English words, what is this telling us to do? What are the instructions? Well, A1 means we're going to start, that's our start number, it's the first one. We're going to start with 15. That's what this means here. And then this just means to find the next term, take the last one and do what? Subtract 10. So we're just going to subtract 10 after we find our first one. So here we go. Super easy. A1, the first term, that's 15, says right there. And then A2, what are we doing? We're subtracting 10. It says take the last number and subtract 10. So 15 minus 10 is 5. And then subtract 10 again makes negative 5. Subtract 10, subtract 10, subtract 10. So that's all these instructions are doing. It's a fancy way of saying start with 15, and then for each next term, subtract 10. Okay? Okay, so now we're going to be writing the recursive formula. So here's our sequence here, our arithmetic sequence, 3 to 9 to 15 to 21. Now, remember, A1 is the first term. That's going to be right here. It's the first one. It's the 3. So nothing super duper tricky there. And then this A sub n equals blank. These are the instructions. This is telling us what are we adding or subtracting. But again, it's got fancy notation that goes with it. Okay? So in this case here, we're going from 3 to 9 to 15 to 21. So 3 plus what makes 9 plus what makes 15 plus what makes 21. That's going to be a plus 6. Normally we would just say 6. We don't need the plus out there in front, but it is a plus 6. That's what we're doing. Okay, so remember breaking this formula down, the next term or the new term that we're looking for, well, we're going to take the last term or the previous term, and that's how we write this using this new notation. And what are we going to do to the last term to find the next one? Well, we're going to add 6. So then it's a plus 6. That's your common difference. Okay, so super easy. First term goes first, and then to find the next term, you take the last term and add 6. You just have to make sure and know what this notation means, but it's fairly straightforward. Again, make sure you have that in your notes. All right, go ahead and try this one out. Pause the video and come on back, see how you did. So here we go. So our first term is the first term, 7.3. That's straightforward, easy to go. That first term, the A1, A sub 1 is going to be the easiest one to find. Okay, now we got to find the common difference. So 7.3 to 5.3 to 3.3 to 1.3. Well, this is a subtract 2 for each term. So our D, our common difference, is a negative 2. So in order to find, so for our new term, we got to take the previous term or the last term, and that's how we write that. And what are we doing to the last term? Well, we're going to subtract 2. So we start with 1, and then to find this one here, subtract 2 from the previous term. To find the 1.3, we had to subtract 2 from the previous term, which was 3.3. So that's the way this formula works. And again, it's the notation that sticks, that makes it sticky on our brains. Okay, so do make sure you get this in the back of your notebook. Some people like having their formulas all in the back of the notebook. But again, it's fairly straightforward if you understand the notation here. The first term is whatever the first term is. And to find the new term, you just take the last term and add or subtract whatever that common difference was.